Evaluation of the discipline system at Clay County Middle.
Hello, I am Angela Nichols, and I am working at Clay Middle School as the 8th grade West Virginia Studies teacher. I plan on applying for an administrative position when one becomes available in my county. I'm interested in finding ways to improve discipline. Today, I want to review the results of my evaluation research on the current discipline system at Clay Middle. This evaluation research was conducted to find a solution to the current discipline problems at Clay County Middle. The goal was to find a way to create a more effective school-wide discipline system. Teachers were surveyed through Google Forms, and the discipline data was collected from the school. The survey, along with the discipline data, was evaluated in a way to evaluate any discrepancies in the data. The results of the study showed a need for a more consistent school-wide discipline system that included staff involvement, professional development, and more positive student reinforcements. The staff were receptive to the new discipline. Therefore, a more consistent system was recommended with steps on how to create the system involving parents, a positive relationships with staff, students, and parents. This evaluation research studied the data collected on school-wide discipline and how it can become more effective. Discipline is a major complaint for teachers, and the number of referrals has increased more significantly over the past few years at Clay County Middle. The targeted classes discipline referral doubled each year according to the discipline data from WEVIS. Student learning is hindered when teachers have to deal with constant disruptions that take away from valuable classroom instruction. Teachers are leaving the field because of these disruptions, and the way that they have to handle their classes is becoming an issue that needs to be addressed, not just in my school, but in other schools as well. The specific research questions that helped collect the data needed to fix the current discipline issues were: 1, what evidence do we have that the current system is not successful? And 2, what do we need to do to become more effective at managing discipline? There were many steps in this evaluation research used to try to find the best way to fix the current discipline system at Clay Middle. I used Google Forms to collect data from the staff on their feelings, and I collected data that was specific to the current 8th grade class over the past 3 years that they were at Clay Middle. And I reflected on the data that was given from office referrals by classroom teachers. You can see each week how I broke down the steps and what was completed during that time. The major note was consistency. Consistency was a problem and also a way to fix the problem. The consistency lies both with the teachers and how they interact in their classroom, and also with administrators on how they handle discipline and how they interacted with the students. When reviewing discipline referrals over the past years, from using the 2017-2018 8th grade class as the target, the consistency and discipline was not there. Some students only received 1 or 2 days of detention for what was considered insubordination. The changes in administration over the years has caused some of the issues with inconsistency that was seen in the data referral. We've had new administration each year that this class has been at Clay Middle, and is a cause for some of the disruptions. I thought discipline referrals would have been very high for the targeted class. However, when looking at the discipline data over the past 3 years, I focused on the students who had accumulated more than 10 office referrals in their 8th grade year and tracked their discipline history. All of those students were males, with 1 student having an IEP and 2 of them had actually been taken out of classes due to Safe Schools Act. One student did have a 504 plan. They came from different demographics. There were no commonalities between them other than the fact that they were all male. There were 9 other students that showed up as being referred more than once but less than 6 times in their 8th grade year. And of those 9 students, there were 3 with IEPs and 5 of them were females. Their history did not track as having a lot of discipline referrals, and some of the students had never had a referral until they had gotten into 8th grade. There was a yearly growth in the discipline referral for the targeted class. As 6th graders, their class counted for 14% of all referrals in the school. The school usually has around 400 and some students. As 7th graders, they counted for 23% of referrals, and as 8th graders, they counted for 46 referrals. The trend seen is there's a growth with all classes, with 8th grade usually having the most over the other classes. That's just a trend that was noted from looking at all the discipline data. The only demographics that came from the fact that most of the discipline issues are males that are white. They come from very socioeconomic backgrounds, and they have different family mixtures and different academic abilities, and some of them play sports. It's not just one type of student that is constantly getting in trouble. The staff revealed that most feel very comfortable in their classroom management. When it's suggested, 68% said they could benefit from some professional development on classroom management. When new teachers used to come into the school, they would get a classroom management mentoring program that they would go through, and that has kind of been lost over the years. I think that has some of the newer teachers feeling a little stressed because they're struggling to get that classroom management. When conferring with administration, it was stated that classroom management is different for each classroom, and some teachers try to work with students, whereas others have the zero tolerance mentality. So each classroom is a different system and a different network, and when a student comes in and has to figure out that different network, it's kind of a difficult thing for some of them. A handful of teachers stood out as making the most referrals in the past 3 years. Teacher number 5 started at CCMS in the 2016-2017 school year. The data shows the number of referrals per year. These totals in comparison to the average are high for most teachers. Clay Middle employs about 28 teachers on average, with the referrals averaging numbers are around 8 to 11 per year. The table shows the teacher, the year, and their grand totals for those 3 years. The demographics of teachers is mixed as well, but most of the Clay County Middle School teachers are female. You can see their referrals. Some of them are new, whereas some of them are more seasoned teachers. The newer teachers do have the most referrals. After reviewing the policies put in place by the current administration, the only major issues that were noteworthy were the way the policies were enforced and the amount of paperwork involved with the referrals. The rules put in place by administration are not unrealistic. However, they aren't consistently enforced by teachers or by administrators. The changes in administration over the past years has been difficult for students, and standards change with each new administration. The changes have not been easy on staff either. The staff hasn't had any changes in the way they are to operate. However, the discipline is being dealt with in a different way, which is not meeting the standards of the staff that was shown in the survey data. When asked how you would rate this current school-wide discipline system at Clay Middle, the average was a 2.5 out of a 1 to 5 rating. 1 was being ineffective and 5 was being very effective. So these policies need to be conferred on, and they need to be agreed on by the staff as well as the administration, so everybody is on the same page. My recommendations from this evaluation research are as followed. Administrative support and consistency is the #1 thing to have a successful discipline system and school. The consistency from administration models the types of behaviors that all staff should demonstrate. Teacher consistency and buy-in to the program is also very important. Administration will have to ensure that staff is following the structure set by the new system that is put in place. Teams should work together to create this system, so they could have an understanding of how they should handle the discipline. This will go along with professional development on classroom management. The discipline received will also become more consistent, and the atmosphere in ALC will become a less social and more task-oriented system. Students who are repeat offenders will complete behavioral modules before allowed to leave, and also they must complete all the work from their classes before they are allowed to return. The new system will have more rewards set in place for those students who are achieving the desired outcomes. Our terms are 6-week terms. They should have at least one reward incentive in that 6 weeks, either through school-wide, grade, or by classroom. Parent involvement is also necessary. Parents already have an open line of communication with teachers via the grading system, live grades. Administration and teachers need to ensure that parents know how to use this line of communication. Digital referencing and referrals, either through Weavis or another program, would really cut down the paperwork and allow administrators and teachers to maintain better records. Clay County Middle School will become a more social network friendly school. The social network helps people know what is going on in school, it lets them know how things are operating in their classes. It would be great to have each teacher to have some type of communication, whether it be a blog, a Facebook page, an Instagram, something so parents can understand what is going on in their classroom.
Here's the link to the survey using Google Forms. If you would like to view for the consent form or look at the questions, please feel free to do so.